This is true, but I am a weirdo.
You're my weirdo.
Hi ho, this is Henry, the RVer want to be coming to you live from the pump on the log.
I love you, baby.
Hi ho, this is Kermit the Frog here, coming to you live from the second log in Kuwait City. Today, we are going to talk to you about how to buy some crazy suits.
All right.
What do you think about it? Kermit! Yeah, no, just
No, don't go ahead, Miss Piggy.
all of the people my age who wonder about the generation needs extra help. That's right, I found snowflake tape.
Oh.
It was so amazing. Snowflake tape for that
I
special needs person in your life. And when they get to wanting to throw their fit because it's so bad, snowflake tape. Helping conservatives everywhere. Act now and you can get the handy dandy snowflake dispenser.
Spencer.
Only $4.99. As we went through this, you guys got to see my little funny,
Yes.
snowflake tape. Um,
No.
but as we go through all of this stuff that we're doing, we just kind of want to talk to you guys about some of the different things going on. So, news flash for you guys, in case you guys didn't know, we have a big old tire in our video, welcome video thing, like our little title video, for a reason. We're supposed to be about RVs. Guess what?
Oh,
We weren't
life.
talking about RVs. So we talked about everything but RVs. Hey, this is how you communicate, and this is how you don't piss somebody off, and this is how you like be peoples together. And we're like, hey, okay, cool. So
Well,
we decided to
being
get back into RVs.
well, it's not like we had much control over that. Let's be honest here. You are a Marine, and you did have this little thing happen in our life called deployment. So it kind of put the brakes on getting into the whole RV conversation because you can't really get into an RV if you're not here to share it with me, babe. Just
This is
saying.
true. This is true. We
So,
can't get into an RV yet. Can't get into an RV until we actually own one. But we did promise you guys at the start of this whole project of this video channel that we were going to talk about our adventure in buying one while still being an active duty dude and looking at getting into this whole lifestyle from an active duty perspective prior to retiring. Because there's lots of guys who do it when they retire, but we are going to show you guys our journey. So with that,
and
we want you to come with us. Take this journey beyond all sight and sound, beyond limits of your imagination. You have entered the Rimkit zone. So here you
it's
are.
part of the
We're
Twilight
gonna
Zone.
go. Alfred Hitchcock looked at us and said, "Dang, they scary." So,
Dang.
so what we wanted to talk about now, we've been researching all these different things. So you've heard us talk about different types of things, all this stuff. We have decided in on what we're gonna get. We think. So with all that stuff, you can make all these decisions and find all this stuff. But then it comes down to the one thing: pay up, sucker. How are you gonna pay for it?
Right?
So as we look at that, it's like, okay, we got to give you guys almost $100,000. How are we going to do this? Well, we're probably going to need a loan because if you're in the military, you probably don't have $100,000 sitting around. And if you did, you would probably go get something a lot better than what we're looking to get. So it's just the way it is. But what I would say is that as we do this, we decided to look at financing. We found out a lot of interesting stuff. So we've found out about what restrictions there you can and cannot do for full-timing RVing and a whole bunch of other stuff. But we're going to break this down as far as where we're sitting at with what we're going to do and what we think we're going to do within regards to financing in a couple different ways.
So, as we were sitting there preparing, we finally decided, and we are talking with our dealer, we were going through all these things. Like I told you guys in previous videos, we put a kind of like a firm break on getting into more depth and even diving into the financial because we still don't have orders. But as we started just talking about getting into the financials, we were looking at what is the part-time or full-time differences, the different companies, and what we found out in regards to companies, and what happened once we actually started diving into the companies and what they told us, and the differences between recreation vehicles and going full-time in them, and where we're standing at now.
So, so I guess some things to look at. So as we decided on what we wanted, where we're going to go, what we're going to get, we started asking around to different people. And we started saying, hey, like, what did you guys do? How did you guys go through this? What's happening? Because as anybody knows, there are, probably a good, I'd say, either 60 or 70 different videos on what to do for financing an RV. Problem is, all of these videos on financing RVs tell you all this stuff on how to haggle for prices and what to do all the other stuff. There was nothing that I had found on any channel about going through the process of, okay, this is what you need for a down payment. This is where you need to look at. These are different things to look at for different rates and all this other different stuff. But with regards to this, we kept getting told the same thing over and over and over again. And it doesn't sit well with me, but what everybody else told us was
to lie.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing that we didn't understand why. And we got told if we don't lie, no one will finance.
Yeah, that's what everybody kept telling me. Like, even from the get-go, all my buddies like, yeah, bro, these banks have great rates, and these guys even have better rates. Just don't tell them you're going to live in it. I was like, but why? It's a trailer. I'm going to haul it. So I had that question. I was like, what's going on? And I'm looking down only because I want to pull up for these guys. And this is what I found out. So starting back in 2010 with the regulations that came out in the SAFE Act, which is basically what we all know as the Truth in Lending Act. Because remember, back in about 2008 through 2009, there was a whole, actually even way back further than that, there was a big housing boom, and everybody was getting sold houses for subprime loans, and they were losing their stuff. So they came out with the Truth in Lending Act, which had to be required, talking about escrow. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff about this, but the part that really flows in with Regulation Z, as they call it, or the Truth in Lending Act, there's the interpretations of all the stuff that came out in this thing, starting from Section 226.35B, 0.35B3. I would recommend you look up the Safe Lending Act.
And we'll put the link below in the description bar so you can read it.
And literally all I did was just do a Google search and it pulled this up. So, but that was kind of a problem that we saw. So we've looked at several different things. It still doesn't sit right with me that everybody tells, oh, just tell them that you're not going to live in it. It's for recreational use. I've even had people tell me, well, you live in base housing now. Just tell me you live in base housing and it's for recreational use, because until you move out, that's the truth. It's like, yeah, that's still telling half the truth is still a lie.
Well, and another thing is that a lot of the people that we spoke with were like, well, you're still in a sticks and bricks, like he just said, you're still in a sticks and bricks, you're moving into it, get the loan now while you're still in a dwelling, move into it afterwards. But then we saw issues where, because people did that, then they were in a catastrophic, like an accident, or the thing caught on fire and all their belongings were destroyed. And then they found, the insurance companies and the financing companies found out that they were actually residing in that full time, pulled the loan and refused to insure the vehicle after fact. So they lost everything.
Well, yeah.
So, there's issues on what, because of how they classify that. The financing companies determine what that is and what type of loss it becomes an issue. And that's why we don't feel comfortable not going with a company that's willing to finance a full time, or being up front saying, hey, we're using this full time. So what is it that we do? That's what we're running into right now. And so what do we do now?
So, and as we researched a little bit into this, so the whole thing, from what I can understand, looking at the escrow laws, if you have another residence, like, I've got to do a little bit more research, but like, okay, so I own a timeshare. It's a residence. I'm just not there full time. Does that count? I have a home of record in the military, so I still have my mother's home and my father's home back in Montana listed as my home of residence and my home of record, because I am not a resident of the state that I live in with my bride in California. We're not California residents, we're residents in Montana. So I still have a residence and an address in Montana. That's where I still pay all my taxes, where I do all my stuff. I just don't reside there full time. So
qualify.
I got to do some research, and that's that's one thing. So I would ask all of y'all that are out there, if you know, please let us know. Maybe somebody watching this is like a financing place or something like that, or a banker, and you guys know, and you guys can tell us specifically. We're doing some research on it because I don't want to lie. We want to honor God in this. If it means we got to pay a little bit extra for an escrow account, got it. Can I use that then as my residence for this loan, and is that legal? I know that, yes, it's not, if they ask, hey, are you going to live in it full time? We're not going to live in it full time forever. We are for a short term, but we're not going to live in it full time forever. We eventually do plan on going back to the sticks and the bricks. And if we have the trailer paid off, cool, we'll just park it on the side and take it out for weekend trips or what have you, whatnot, or maybe sell it and get a smaller size one. I don't know. But either way, still, we're going to go out and do stuff. We're always going to come back to that home base back in Montana anyway. So I don't feel so bad personally about it, but I still want to research it, make sure it's right, because I do want to honor God in this and tell the truth. So that's kind of where we're at. So I guess I would ask you guys, what's your experience?
Who do you use? And what do you use? Have you told, does your financing company know that you full-time, and did you tell them that you were full-time? Are you in the situation like we are, trying to find a full-time financing company? What's the requirements that you're finding? Where are you at now? Because this is where we're standing. Yeah, there's 2 that we're looking at. We haven't fully confirmed what options, and we're going to go back to our first option that we would love to have, because they're the ones that we finance through, period, with both our vehicles, and just ask them again and get clarity on one subject matter, like the residence, our home record, and see what that goes, because we didn't understand what was going on. But just to get clarity, and if that's still a no-go, then we'll look at the other 2. But we'd rather be honest and upfront, so we are covered both in the front and the back end. But we still want to do this. We're still going to do this, but it's just we want to do it the right way. So our hope is that we'll find a company that is on this steadfast and been there a while, and is one that will be there for us. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to figure this out so we can move forward again with this, and hopefully we'll get orders soon, and then hopefully we'll have my husband home soon and all that good stuff. But thank you guys for, as I edit this out and slice and dice and go through all that stuff, because so I can get this up and going. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. You guys take care of each other, love one another, and I will see you guys again shortly. Much love. Bye.
Peace, love, purple bunny.
Purple bunnies, really? We're not in Easter yet.